So plants reproduce new plants in three ways. So the first way we have up to discussed the first way, that is reproduction through seeds. So seeds and seeds dispersal. Now the second way of producing new plants is so reproduction through spores. So reproduction through spores. So this is the second way of producing new plants from the plants. So reproduction through spores. So this is the second way of producing new plants by the plants. So some plants does not produce any fruits and seeds. So in those cases, but those plants produces spores. So some plants does not produces flowers and fruits or seeds. So they cannot reproduce new plants with the help of flowers or fruits or seeds. So these type of plants, so some plants produces spores. So by using spores, they can produce new plants. So with the help of spores, they can produce new plants. So examples for these plants which produce new plants from the spores are, the first one is fern. So fern is a plant, and this fern plant, so look at the picture. So the picture is showing a fern plant, and you are observing some spores on the leaves of the fern plant. So that brown colored circular spots are nothing but spores. So if we plant the spores, so if we detach the leaves and plant the spores in the soil, then we will get a new fern plant. So this fern plant does not produce any fruits and seeds. So this fern plant produces spores on their leaves. So when the leaves are detached, and if we plant that leaves in the soil, we can get a new fern plant. So fern plant produces their new plants by using spores. So the next example is lichens. So lichens. So lichens are, so we can observe lichens on the trees. So which are wet during the rainy season. So the algae, fungi will be formed on the stem of the trees, and we will observe some lichens. So it does not contain any leaves or fruits or seeds. So lichens produces a small round shaped spores. So look at the picture. The picture is showing a lichens, and you are observing spores of lichens in the picture. So if you detach that spores and if you plant that spores in the soil, you will get a new lichens. And the third example for the spores is, for the plants is moss. So moss. So this moss plant also produces spores, and it have a small leaves, narrow leaves. So this plant produces also spores, and by using spores, moss plant also produces new plants. So these three are the examples for the plants which can reproduce their new plants from their spores. Because these plants does not produce any fruits and seeds, that's why they will use their spores to produce new plants. Now we will discuss about the third method of reproducing new plants. So the third method is reproduction through body parts. So reproduction through body parts. So through body parts of plants. So this is the third method of producing. So this is the third method of reproducing new plants. For from their body parts. So that means some plants can reproduce their new plants with the help of their body parts. Like the body parts are like, so the body parts are like the buds, and second one is leaves, and the third one is roots, and fourth one is stems. So these are the body parts from which the plants can reproduce their new plants. So some plants can reproduce their new plants from their body parts. So the examples for the body parts are like birds. So some plants produce their new plants from their birds, and some plants reproduce their new plants from their leaves, and some plants reproduce their new plants from their roots, and some plants reproduce their new plants from their stems. So first of all, let us discuss about the plants which can reproduce their buds. So let us discuss about the plants which reproduce their new plants from their buds. So example, so the plants which can be reproduced by the buds are, the first one is potato. So potato. So look at the picture of potato. So in the picture you are observing a potato, and the potato having a small buds, a green color buds you are observing in the picture. So if you cut a piece of bud, and if you plant that part of bud in the soil, then you will get a new potato plant. And the second example is ginger. So look at the picture. So in the picture is showing a ginger, and you are observing a green color bud produced from the ginger. So if you cut that part of green color bud from the ginger, and if you plant that bud in the soil, then a new ginger plant will be grown up. So some plants can produce their new plants from their buds. So these plants are obtained from their underground stem. So especially the potato and the ginger are obtained from their underground stems. And these stems are very thick and fleshy. So because they store their food. So this potato and ginger are obtained from the underground stems, and these underground stems are thick and fleshy. So because they contain food and they store their food in their stems. And these stems contains a small buds. And if you cut the buds and if you plant the buds in the soil, then you will get a new plants. So these are the examples for the plants which can reproduce their new plants from the buds. And the second one is leaves. Second one is leaves. So some plants reproduce their new plants from their leaves. So the example is bryophyllum. So the example for the plant which can reproduce their new plants from their leaf is bryophyllum. So bryophyllum. So look at the picture. So in the picture you are observing the leaf of a bryophyllum plant. So you are observing the leaf of a bryophyllum plant. So if you observe carefully, the leaf has a small buds around its margin. So if you observe carefully, the picture has, that means the leaf of a bryophyllum plant has a small buds at the edges of the leaf. So if you detach that leaf and if you plant that leaf in the soil, then you will get a new bryophyllum plant. So this is the example for the plant which can reproduce a new plant from their leaves. And the next one is roots. So some plants can reproduce their new plants from their roots. Example, carrot. So look at the picture. So the picture, you are observing a carrot, the root of a carrot, and the carrots are obtained from the roots. And the roots are very thick and fleshy because the roots contain food in it. So because of the food contained it, so it becomes thicky. And if you that contains also birds, and if you cut that birds and if you plant that birds in the soil, then you will get a new plant. And another example for is, so second one is sweet potato. So sweet potato plant can also be reproduced from their roots. So just observe the picture. In the picture you are observing a sweet potato root. So the sweet potatoes are grown under the soil in the form of a root. So the sweet potato is nothing but a root. So some plants stores their food in their roots. So that's why the roots becomes flesh and thick. So that thick and fleshy roots are nothing but this carrot and sweet potato. So these roots have some buds, and if you cut the buds and plant the buds in the soil, you will get a new sweet potato plant. So this carrot, sweet potato, and are also examples for the trees which produces their new plants from their roots. And the fourth one is stems. So stems. So some plants reproduce their new plants from their stems. Example for those plants is rose plant. So look at the picture. In the picture you are observing the stems of rose plants. And if you observe carefully, the stems of the rose plants have small buds on it. So if you cut the stems into small pieces, that small pieces are called stem cuttings. Stem cuttings. So these stem cuttings contains buds, small buds. So if you plant these stem cuttings in the soil, you will get a new rose plant. So in the similar way, another example is sugar cane. So look at the picture. In the picture you are observing a sugar cane, which is nothing but a stem. On the stem of this sugar cane, you are observing small buds. And if you cut the stem into pieces having buds, and if the stem is planted in a soil, then you will get a new sugar cane tree. So in this way, some plants can reproduce their new plants from their stem cuttings. That means from their stems. So their stems contains buds, and if you cut their stems into small pieces, those are called stem cuttings. And if the small pieces of stem cuttings are planted in the soil, you will get new plants. So in this way, the plants will reproduce new plants in different ways. So this is about the chapter reproduction in plants. Okay, started. Children, so let us do some exercise in the activities part. So the first activity is answer these questions. So children, read the first question. So the first question is, what are the conditions necessary for the germination of seeds? So once again, the question is, what are the conditions necessary for the germination of seeds? So let us see the answer for this question. So the answer for this question is enough amount of water, air and warmth are the conditions necessary for the germination of seeds. Children, we have discussed already. So actually the seed is non-living thing, and inside the seed there is a small tiny plant called embryo, and it is attached to the seed leaves called cotyledons, and there is a small hole present on the outside of the seed which is called micropyle. So when water, air and warmth are given to the seed, then it grows into a small plant. So the conditions for the germination of these seeds are, so we should require amount of water, air and warmth. So these are the conditions required for the germination of the seed. So children, see the second question. So the second question is, if plants do not have seeds, how do they reproduce? So children, read the question once again. If plants do not have seeds, how do they reproduce? So already we have discussed this topic in plant dispersal, that means seed dispersal. So how seed dispersal in different ways. So children, look at the answer. The answer for this question is, if plants do not have seeds, then they reproduce by tiny spores or from bud, stem, leaf or root. So some plants does not produce seeds. That means some plants do not have flowers or seeds. Then they will reproduce their younger ones with the help of their spores. And some plants reproduce the new plants with the help of their body parts like buds, stem, root, leaf, etc. So if we consider lichens and moss plants, they will produce spores and they can produce a new plant from each spores. And if we consider some plants like potato, carrot, so these are the new plants which are coming from the roots. And if we consider leaf, the leaf of bryophyllum. So bryophyllum produces new plants with the help of its leaf. So in this way, the plants produces new plants from their body parts and from their spores. So those does not have seeds. So children, note down this question and answer in your notebook. So see the third question. The third question is, describe the structure of a seed. Describe the structure of a seed. So children, see the answer for this question. So the first point is, there are 3 points in the answer for this question. The first point is, the seed has a harder outer core. It protects the seeds. And second point is, the scare on the seed is a part attached to the fruit. And the third point is, the seed has a tiny plant and food for it inside it. So this is the structure of seed. So generally seeds are very hard and we cannot easily broken the seed because the outer portion of the seed is covered by a thick layer called seed coat. And a tiny plant is present inside the seed, that is called embryo. And there is a scare. Scare is a part which is attached. That means scare is a part with which a seed is attached to the fruit. And above the scare, there is a small hole present in it for the entry of water into the seed. That small hole is called micropyle. So this is the structure of the seed. So children, note down this question and answer in your notebook. So see the next question, that is fourth question. So the fourth question is, what is meant by seed dispersal? So what is meant by seed dispersal? The answer for this question is, children, see the answer.
And read the answer. The scattering of seeds or fruits away from the mother plant is called seed dispersal. So that means, so every plant produces so many seeds. If all the seeds fell down and near the mother plant, and all the plants which fell down at the mother plant cannot grow, because it will take a crowding of the plants, and there will be competition for light, water between the plants. So that's why actually this does not happen in the nature. So all the seeds which fell down near the mother plant cannot grow at the single place, because there will be competition between the plants, and a crowding of plants will take place, and there will be no proper growth in the plants if all the seeds grown at the same place. So that's why the seeds should be scattered to distant places to avoid the competition between the plants for light and water. So this scattering of seeds and fruits away from the mother plant is called seed dispersal. So we have already discussed that there are some types of these methods of seed dispersal. So children, note down this question and answer in your notebook. So see the next question. So the next question is, how do animals help in the dispersal of seeds? How do animals help in the dispersal of seeds? So for the seed dispersal, animals helpful for the dispersal of seeds. Not only animals, water also helpful in the dispersal of seeds, and some animals helps in the dispersal of foods, and wind also helpful in the dispersal of foods. So that's why there are some methods of dispersal of seeds, that is wind dispersal, dispersal by animals, and dispersal by explosion. So these are the different methods for the dispersal of seeds. So here, how do animals help in the dispersal of seeds? So children, see the answer for this question. The answer is, animals help in the dispersal of seeds. A. By excreting the seeds from the fruits they eat. B. By carrying away the seeds which have hooks or spikes. So some seeds have hook-like structure or spike-like structures, like if we take xanthium seed, spear grass seeds. So these seeds have a spike-like structures, and they will attach to the skins of the animals, or if they attach it to the claws, then the animals carry away the seeds along with them to distant places. And some seeds have hook-like structures. For example, if we take a tiger nail seed, it will have seeds-like structure, and it will attach to the skin of the animals or claws, and they will carry away the seeds to distant places. So in this way, animals help in the dispersal of seeds. And some animals like monkeys and birds, crows and squirrels, they eat some fruits, and they does not digest the seed present in the fruit, and the seeds will come out through their excreta. So this excretion will take place at distant places from the mother plant. Then there the seeds will grow into a new plants. So in this way, animals helpful in the dispersal of seeds. So children, note down this question and answer in your notebook. So see the next question. So the next question is, explain the various ways of dispersal of seeds. So explain the various ways of dispersal of seeds. So seeds can be dispersed in different ways. So the answer for this question is, so the first method, wind dispersal. So that is, the seeds are carried away by wind. Example, cotton seed, dandelion seed. These seeds have hair-like structure or tufts of hair, and these seeds are very light in weight. That's why they are carried away by the wind to distant places. So this dispersal of seeds with the help of winds is called wind dispersal. And the second method is water dispersal. So water also helpful in the dispersal of seeds of fruits, seeds of plants which live in water. So example, coconut and palm tree. So the coconut tree contains a very light fibrous portion around the coconut. It is very light in weight, and if the coconut fell on the water, it does not sink, and it will be carried away with the water flow to distant places. So in this way, water also helpful in the dispersal of seeds, that is called water dispersal. And the third way is animal dispersal. The animals help in the spreading the seeds. So animals also help in the spreading the seeds. For example, squirrels, monkeys, squirrels, monkeys, parrots, all these animals and birds eat from fruits of the trees, and they does not digest the seeds and come out through their excreta, and they will excrete at the distant places from the mother plant. So there the seeds will grow into new plants. So this is called animal dispersal. And the fourth way is explosion. So some plants scatter their seeds by explosion. So the answer is the fruits explodes and the seeds are thrown away. Some fruits like okra and pea plants, they explode after they are dried, and they will scatter the seeds of their plants through distant places through the explosion. So this is called explosion. The fruits explode and the seeds are thrown away. So these are the four ways of methods of dispersal of seeds. So children, note down this question and answer in your notebook. So children, let us go to the next activity in this exercise. So the next activity is complete the sentences. So children, see, there are 5 sentences given in this chart, and the answers are also given below the sentences. We have to choose the suitable, that means a correct word for the given sentences as the answer. So the given answers below the sentences are shown in the pink colored boxes. So read the answers once. That is flowers, embryo, water, air, embryo, water. So these are the answers for the above 5 sentences. We have to choose the correct word for the given sentences. So children, let us read the first sentence. Dash are important in making seeds. So which make seeds in the plants? So which part plays a very important role in making seeds? So the answer is flowers. So flowers are important in making seeds. So the answer is flowers. So write the word flowers for the first sentence, because flowers make seeds after pollination and after fertilization. So flower is the answer for the first sentence. So children, read the second sentence. Seeds need dash and warmth for germination. So which components are necessary for the seed germination? Already we have discussed in the previous activity. So what conditions are required for the germination of seed? So the seed should require air, water and warmth for germination. So if you provide air, water, warmth for a seed, then it will become into a living thing, and life will be come to the seed, and it is grown into a new plant. So the seeds need, the first condition is air, and the second condition is water, and the third condition is warmth. So the answers for the second sentence is air, water. So seeds need air, water and warmth for germination. Next, children, read the third sentence. The dash consists of root and a shoot. The dash consists of root and shoot. So which part of the seed contains root and shoot? So we have already discussed the structure of seed. So the seed contains a tiny plant inside it, which is called embryo. that embryo has root and shoot. So which consists of root and shoot? Yes, embryo. So embryo is nothing but a tiny plant present inside the seed is called embryo. So the correct answer for the third sentence is embryo. So the embryo consists of root and a shoot. So children, read the fourth sentence. A seed contains dash inside it. A seed contains dash inside it. So already we have discussed that seed contains a tiny plant which is called embryo. So the answer for the fourth sentence is embryo. So the fourth sentence is a seed contains embryo inside it. So children, read the fifth sentence. Dispersal of coconut seeds takes place by dash. So generally the coconut seeds are dispersed by water. So water can disperse the coconut seeds to distant places because coconut seeds are very light in weight because of the fibrous portion present around the coconut. This fibrous portion around the coconut makes the coconut seed very light in weight. That's why the coconut seeds are carried away with the water flow when they are fall in the water. So dispersal of coconut seeds takes place by water. So the correct answer is water. So write the word water for the fifth sentence. So children, these are the answers for the 5 sentences. So children, note down these sentences in your notebook. Children, so the next activity. So the next activity in the exercise is name the way of reproduction for the following. So name the way of reproduction for the following. So already we have discussed in the chapter. So different plants reproduces in different ways. So all the plants does not reproduce in the same way. So some plants will produce in some ways. So different plants reproduces in different ways. So they have given here the 6 types of plants and 6 answers are given below the sentences. So we have to choose the correct word for each sentences. So the given answers are, the first one is stem bud. So look the children below the sentences. The answers are given in the pink colored boxes. But we have to choose the right answer for each type of plant. For each plant. That is, for each sentence we have to choose the right answer which are given below the sentences. So the given answers are stem bud, and second one is root, and third one is stem bud, and fourth one is stem cutting, and fifth one is leaf, and sixth one is stem cutting. So these are the answers for the above 6 sentences. So you have to choose the right answer for each sentence. So read the first sentence, that is the first word, potato plant. So in what way potato plant can reproduce? So potato plant can reproduce with the help of stem bud. So because potato has a small buds on its surface. So each bud produces a new potato plant. So if we cut the bud and plant the bud inside the soil, then we will get a new potato plant. So potato will reproduce by the way of stem bud. Next, the second plant is rose. How can rose produces a new plant? So in what way rose plant produces a new plant? So the answer is stem cutting. So rose produces new plant by the way of stem cutting. So the stem of rose plant contains small buds, and if we cut the stem into small pieces, that small pieces of stems are called stem cuttings. And if we plant that each stem cutting in the soil, then we will get a new rose plant from each stem cutting. So that's why rose plant reproduces by the way of stem cutting. So the correct answer is stem cutting for rose plant. Next, the third plant is sugar cane. In which way sugar cane reproduces new plant? So sugarcane also reproduces its new plant by the way of stem cutting. So if we observe the sugarcane, we will observe some buds on it. So the sugarcane contains small buds on its stem. So we have to cut the stem into small pieces. That small pieces of stem are called stem cuttings. So if we plant the stem cutting of sugarcane, we will get a new sugarcane plant. So sugarcane also produces new plant from its stem cutting. And the fourth plant is bryophyllum. So bryophyllum reproduces new plant from its leaf, because the bryophyllum leaf produces small plants at its edges of leaf. So bryophyllum plant produces new plants, that means small plants around the edges of its leaf. So if we seed that leaf in the soil, then we will get a new bryophyllum plants. So in this way, bryophyllum plant reproduces by its leaf. Next, fifth plant is ginger. How ginger reproduces? In what way ginger reproduces? So ginger is a root plant. That means ginger is produced from the root of a plant. So the root of a ginger is very thick because it contains food, it stores food in its root. So if we cut the root of the ginger and if we seed the root of the ginger in the soil, we will get a new plant of ginger. So ginger reproduces new plant from root. So write the word root in the ginger. Next, the sixth plant is sweet potato. So sweet potato also produces sweet sorry. So ginger is a plant which reproduces its new plants from stem bud, because the ginger also contains small buds on its surface. So if we cut each bud and if we plant each bud in the soil, we will get new ginger plant. So ginger reproduces new plants from its stem bud. So children, see the sixth plant, sweet potato. So sweet potato reproduces its new plant from its root, because the root of sweet potato plant is very thick and it stores the food. And if we cut the root of the sweet potato and if we plant the root of sweet potato in the soil, we will get a new plant of sweet potato. So sweet potato reproduces new plant from its root. So children, these are the answers for these plants, and these are the ways by which the given plants reproduces. So children, note down these in your notebook. So the next activity in the exercise part is match the following. So children, if you observe this matching, at the left side of the matching they will give some types of plants. On the right side of the matching they will give some parts like water, explosion, birds, and their body parts are given. Now we have to match the plants with the words given on the right side. So match the following, like first spear grass. So spear grass is a seed which contains spikes, and these spear grass seeds are dispersed by animals. So spear grass seeds are dispersed by the animal bodies. So match the spear grass with the animal body. Next, pea plant. So pea plant disperses its seeds by explosion. So match the pea plant with the explosion, because it disperses its seeds through explosion. Next, the next plant is lotus. So next plant is lotus. So lotus is an aquatic plant. That means it grows in water, that is it grows on the surface of the water. So match the lotus with the water. Next, the next word is potato. So potato reproduces its plants from its buds. So match potato with buds. So match potato with buds. So children, so the fifth word is rose. Rose reproduces its new plants from its stems. So match the rose with stems because it reproduces its new plants from its stems. Next, the last one is bryophyllum. Bryophyllum reproduces its new plants from its leaf. So match the bryophyllum with the leaf. So children, this is the matching and this is the way how to match the given words. So note down this matching in your notebook. So children, let us enter into the next activity in the exercise part. So draw the different stages of germination. So draw the different stages of germination. So children, here we have to draw the different stages of germination of a seed. In the textbook, the picture is given in your textbook. Like the first, the seed is planted in the soil, and if you pour water to the seed, then the embryo gets a life, and first the roots come outside the seed. It is the second stage, and after some days, the roots develops and go deep into the earth. And the fourth stage, the hard cover of the seed will removed, and the cotyledons are converted into leaves. So after some days, the cotyledons will converted into leaves, and it will converted into an adult plant. So just like this, there are different stages in the germination of seed. So draw the picture of seed germination in your notebook, which is present in your textbook. So the picture is provided in the link given in the this. So the link for the picture is provided in the description in the PDF. So download the PDF and practice the diagram in your notebook. So children, let us go for the next activity. So that is fun activity. So take an onion or ginger bulb and put it in the wet soil in an earthen pot. Keep watering it regularly for some days. Study its growth and write your observations here. So children, it is a fun activity. That means it is just like a project work for you. So this have to do at your home by your own. That is, take an onion or ginger bulb and put it in the wet soil in an earthen pot. Keep watering it regularly for some days. Study its growth and write your observations here. So what do you observe? So if you plant a ginger bulb or onion bulb in the soil and if you water it regularly, then you will observe the ginger buds produces a new plant. So the observations are the ginger bulb. That means the ginger bulb. So the ginger bulb produces new plant. And that new ginger plant grown into a small plant. So this is the observation we will, if we observe the ginger bulb which is planted in the soil. So the ginger bulb produces new plant. So these are the observations for the given activity. So the exercise part is completed in this chapter.